New York skyline to the east, and we are across the river on the Jersey side at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Coming up, two teams ready to square off. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. On the visiting sideline, Mike Tomlin, his 19th season at the helm, closing in 2 decades, a charge Steeler. Opposite him, the Jets' Aaron Glenn off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans. Mike Tirico with Greg Olson. We're ready to start year 2 together in the booth. Should be a wet one, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Well, here come the Steelers, and that's the sight that looks odd, but people were looking to see after keeping us waiting all spring. Year 21 in the league for Aaron Rodgers, his first as the Steelers quarterback.
Mike, as I think back to opening day for my years of playing in the NFL, if I was a rookie or going my 14th season, I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves.
A big hole. And he will take this one in. 74 yards. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers' career touchdown throw 504, but number 1 as a Pittsburgh Steeler. And Greg, that is the way you love to start one of those games. Get off the bus, get on the field, get in the end zone. The road team with the first 6 of this one.
And you can just see, Mike, it takes a lot of the air out of the stadium. Firing up, start of the game, trying to make their presence felt, and the opposing team goes all the way down for an 5 touchdown. That's an ideal way to start when you find yourself on the road.
Jets, nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. And there'll be no return forthcoming, so the ball comes out to the 35. So here come the Jets. Their ever-changing quarterback carousel stops on Justin Fields, the 26-year-old. Remember, the Bears' first-round pick back in 2021 out of Ohio State.
There's a lot of eyes now that are going to be on Justin Fields taking over for Aaron Rodgers. That didn't go according to plan in New York, but it's going to be a very different style. So I'm very curious, how do they build this Jets offense around the strengths of Justin Fields? Rely just enough on his legs and his athleticism, but also let him be both a pocket and a movement quarterback that at times, in his time in Chicago, he had some success.
And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's second down.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Working out of the gun, it's Fields. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
An 8-yard loss on the play. It's now third down.
Third and long.
Here we go. I'm good. Green 19, got to that.
From the shotgun, it's Fields. A pass deep for Reynolds. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Josh Reynolds.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up, and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. So, Greg, on come the Steelers, and this is just the consistent line in the NFL. We love sitting with Mike Tomlin, talking about his team. He's colorful, he's energetic, but he just wins 21 consecutive seasons. The Steelers have been 500 or better, 18 of those under Mike Tomlin. What is it about this guy that gets this team regularly winning record?
Well, Mike, you mentioned Mike Tomlin, and I'm with you. I'm not sure you enjoy sitting down with an NFL head coach more than we do when we sit down with Mike. And you hear it all the time, do they have a pulse for the locker room? Well, Mike Tomlin knows when to put his arm around you and love you. He knows when to kick you in the behind to get you going. And a lot of times, Mike, we've seen him kick his best, most talented players out the door. They don't play there anymore. So he has a great pulse. But now all of that is great, but they've got to get over the hump. You mentioned 4 to 5 years, wild card loss. The consistency is great, but there's some rumblings in Pittsburgh now, Mike. Can they get over the hump? And I think this is a big year and still a big question mark at the quarterback position.
Pat Fryermuth, the intended receiver. Third down coming up. From the gun, Rodgers. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
That's complete. He's got it to London. He's still on his feet. And he is short of the goal line, but they are in business at the 1-yard line. The production has been sensational early on. The last catch putting him over 100 receiving yards, and we still have another half to play. So the big play gets him down close, and now it's first and goal. To the air once more. It touches. He's got his big tight end. Fryermuth. Touchdown, Steelers.
Well, I think these guys are ready for week one. I mean, we see teams kind of limp their way into the regular season, and they don't find their form until a couple weeks in. But they didn't play a ton in the preseason, but that's 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and let's all say, what the heck does the preseason even mean?
Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Steelers will extend their first quarter lead. It's now 14-0.
Jets, nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to come. And he will not attempt a return, so this will come out now to the 35-yard line. Greg, for the Jets, the reset button hit again after 5 and 12, the Aaron Rodgers few seasons. Now it is start brand new again, this time with Aaron Glenn leading the charge.
Well, you talk about Aaron Glenn, Mike, and you think the job he did as defensive coordinator over the last couple of years in Detroit with the Lions, the rebuild of all rebuilds alongside Dan Campbell. So can he now do it again as the head coach? The number one question, what's everyone asking, Mike? Is Justin Fields the quarterback of the future? And I'm not sure any of us are ready to answer that question right now, but can they build a culture of winning? Can they get this Jets are back on track where they can compete for division titles. Every time you're facing the blitz, the thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
So, first quarter in the NFL kickoff weekend. It's the Steelers with the... We're back in New York in just a moment. The Jets have it here to start quarter number 2 as they come up now on 3rd and 7.
Here we go, son.
The throw is Fields. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
A gain of 12 yards.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for. Play. Here we see it on 3rd down. Starts out as a pass. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner. Picks up the first down. So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half.
And take him down, take it to the other side of midfield. Derek Harmon, the first-round pick, making an instant impact here in the his 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Now Fields. Searching for some kind of seed to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
It's almost like the defense knew the back was getting the ball there, because from the moment the ball was snapped, there was a defender all over him, and he's able to bring him down for a loss.
Here's Austin McNamara now, and he is hoping to improve on his first attempt. Here's Austin McNamara now, and he'll be looking for something better after that poor first punt. And he'll be brought down short of the turn, and they'll take over it. Steelers. When you step back and look at this AFC North, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, their rivalry now really for a couple of decades has in so many ways defined this division, and they set the tone for everything that happens when you are in an AFC North game.
Yeah, and you talk about divisions having identities, they have their culture. Really at the top, Baltimore and Pittsburgh kind of want to play a similar style game, strong on defense, great run game. Obviously, Baltimore adds the extra element with Lamar Jackson. To me, the fascinating team, though, is what can we expect, Mike, from the Cincinnati Bengals?
I agree with you, because if you think about the toughness and physicality, Cincinnati can put up points in an electrifying fashion, and even the one year Cleveland was up near the top of the division, they did that as well. But you come back to the defensive side of the ball, and when I look at these teams, Greg, I just think, man, these are defenses that can stop anybody in the league, and that's where you've got to invest in this division.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating about Cincinnati is they're kind of the outlier. They're the pass heavy, they're the spread attack, they've got unbelievable weapons. Obviously, Joe, but it was the defense, their inability to be as good on the defensive side of the ball as Baltimore, as Pittsburgh, traditionally, but especially last year, really what allowed them to be the odd man looking in when they missed the playoffs. So I think if Cincinnati can just improve a little bit on defense, they have the offense to now enter and make it a 3-man race in the AFC North.
And they'll take this down inside the 35. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers going up top again. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms and incomplete. Drake London was the intended receiver there. It's second down. Again, Rodgers. Tim by London. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts as it comes to 22 seconds remaining till halftime.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
They'll throw again. Here's Rodgers. That's over the middle and taken in by Freiermuth. Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their second, and it'll come with 15 seconds to play in this first half.
6-yard line.
They'll come up now for second down and 4.
Hey, take 26. Look at the 8. Look at the 8.
On the shotgun, it's A-Rod. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down. Out of the gun, it's Rodgers. And he overshoots everyone. It's through the back of the end zone, and incomplete. Jacoby Myers was the intended target.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that third down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this fourth down after failing on third.
26.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth down. Oh, the blitz gets there. He is sacked, and they turn it over on down.
Yeah, so I think, Mike, this is one of those conditions and the elements definitely come into play. I think in a normal day of clear weather, this coach makes a different decision in this situation. But here, I can understand why he decided to be aggressive and go for it on fourth down.
So, halftime straight ahead, and we go down to Scott Hansen, who has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Today is the day. The debut of our new halftime show. Buckle up, everyone. I think you're going to like it. Our trip through the NFL starts now. At Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, we find the Falcons at home to take on the Bucs in an NFC South matchup. And this is Cade Otton. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. He'll take it all the way to the score. Next up, we go down to Brazil. Game number 2 on the NFL schedule. Chiefs and the Chargers from the Southern Hemisphere. And it's the rookie first-round draft pick, Omarion Hampton. A scintillating run for the touchdown. The Chargers come away with a victory. They win by 6. One more to show you. Let's go to Philadelphia. It's the Eagles taking on the Cowboys. And it's Dak Prescott. Footwork, agility, speed, power, a brilliant run for the touchdown. The Cowboys move to 1-0. They get the victory in the season opener. And time for one more look at the rest of the scores from around the National Football League. In the game you're watching, we saw a couple of touchdowns in the first half. 14-0 is the score. As we send you back out to the broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Jets offense is going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Greg, this AFC East, a division that really has been dominated by the Bills. The 5 straight division titles. It's hard to see who can knock them off that perch right now.
Yeah, and I think until someone decides that that's going to change, I think you just have to assume that Buffalo remains the king of the East. And I think when you look at the bottom of the division with the Jets and New England, they're clearly in a rebuild. Quarterbacks, new coaching staff, trying to kind of get themselves out of the bottom of the division. Miami seems to me, I don't know if they're ready to compete necessarily with Buffalo directly, but Miami is a playoff caliber roster, a playoff caliber team. They've showed it in year. If anybody's ready to compete, I just don't know Mike ready top to bottom over the length of the season to get enough wins to keep pace with a team as good as Buffalo.
And 2 new coaches at the bottom of the standings last year, the Jets and the Patriots. And Greg, both played for a long time in the league and bring a certain amount of toughness to the top of the organizations.
Absolutely, and it was very clear exactly what New York and New England were looking for. They wanted culture setters, right? It wasn't about getting the fancy play caller. It wasn't about the X's and O's. They needed to establish an identity and a culture of excellence and of winning. So, no question, Mike, there was a very clear mission, a clear path to landing on Vrabel and Aaron Glenn, and they think they have their guy for the long term.
Fields now on second down. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. That's the 4th time All-Pro T.J. Watt getting in there to bring him down. His first sack of the season.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Not fun here. 3rd and a lot.
Here we go, set.
Fields. Oh, this pass rush dialed in right now. They get him again. Patrick Wing. He's in for the sack, and it will lead to 4th and very long.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
That's taken in at the 50. And it's a good return here. He's going to set his guys up with outstanding field position. The Steelers offense and Drake London set to take over once more. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is...
And he will get into the end zone! Darnell Mooney, touchdown Pittsburgh.
Really nice job there by the receiver, understanding what to do after you secure the catch and the ability to target him in the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. If you can hit them in stride and be accurate with the ball, there is a lot of green grass to pick up yards after the catch, and he's able to take this one all the way into the end zone for 6.
On for the extra point is Boswell. He's got it. And the Steelers will take themselves to a 21-0 lead.
Jets, nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now, following the touchdown, back out to kick this one off. And no return here. This is a touchback. So now the Jets offense ready to take over once more. You know, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattled off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. You could have made the argument if they're a playoff team that Joe Burrow was the best player in the league. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handed. Might not win the division with Baltimore.